This AP The Plug here with the Ticket Plug. Look, I have the easiest way online that you can flip your bread. We sell tickets to concerts, comedy, festivals, sports, theater, Broadway, all that type of stuff. And it's real easy. I can show you how to do it. Go to thetickettrap.com. Again, thetickettrap.com.
All right, yours truly, gospel singer and preacher Kirk Franklin had a very emotional moment on camera where he talked about the Bible, some of his disbeliefs, and just a lot of things that, he probably normally wouldn't share with people, in a one-on-one session. So I'm gonna play what he said and stick around for my commentary. Let me tell you, this gets very, very deep. And if you're a believer, if you're into the church, if you're into the Bible, or just a regular person, you have to hear this. Rotate.
So hey, it is 11:30 on the East Coast. I'm a little tired, a little sleepy. So there's no telling what I'm about to say. There's no telling how real and honest I'm gonna be, because I'm a little pooped. I'm a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little emotional. So, and because I'm going live, I'm not gonna be able to erase this. It's gonna be what it is. All right, so I have to be honest with you. I think that we got to reconsider this goal of making everything so pretty and wrapped in this pretty bow. Every time somebody is a Christian, they want to try to talk in ways where, God did this. It's like this perfection of always wanting to have the answer and the scripture and the biblical reference for every little detail in life. It's really beginning to piss me off. It's really beginning to be very frustrating, because it's like we want to quote and represent the things of faith that are comfortable for us. But again, when you're talking about a book that's full of liars, adulterers, whoremongers, murderers, thieves, like nobody in the Bible was pretty. Nobody in the Bible had this clean, pretty life. But in real time, y'all keep wanting to make everything so pretty and so packaged well that it's like, if your way was working, Christianity in America would be growing. There would be an increase. But it's like, you see the numbers. You see the numbers of people that don't believe. You see the numbers of people that are leaving, but y'all still want to keep holding on to the fact that y'all are like experts in the text, in the Aramaic, in the Greek, in the Hebrew, instead of realizing that everything in Christianity is not going to be wrapped in a perfect bow. Life is not fair. And life is not easy. It was not easy in the text. It ain't easy now. I'm in Orlando. I'm not in Florida. And these people have been hit with all of these storms. Folk going through a lot of bull with the government. Insurance companies are leaving them without their houses getting fixed. And y'all still want to throw scriptures at people. Well, here's a scripture that I want to throw at you. The Bible says, rejoice with those that rejoice and mourn with those that mourn. Y'all are so pretty wanting to wrap everything in a perfect bow that you don't even give yourself a chance to feel the pain that people go through. Y'all want stuff, you want to throw scriptures and stuff so quickly that you just don't even give people the opportunity to mourn, to hurt with people. Why don't y'all want to hurt with people? Why don't y'all want to feel the agony of what our species goes through as humans? Folk are going through, bro. And y'all want to be so quick to just keep throwing all of these bibliocentric ideals at people instead of going, man, I can't even imagine how that mama feels having to bury her third child. Bro, y'all gotta help me. Y'all gotta help me. Stop trying to make Christianity so perfect and pretty and let it be ugly when it's time to be ugly. Job's life was ugly. Job's life was ugly. Paul's life in prison was ugly. David's baby dying after his adulterous relationship with Bathsheba, that was ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. The storms of life are ugly. And life ain't fair, and God does not always make sense. That's the truth. But y'all want to throw scriptures at that. Yeah, but man, let it breathe. Let it breathe. Don't be so quick to throw a scripture. Let it breathe. Yes, life isn't fair, and God does not always make sense. Let life hurt when it needs to hurt. That don't make your faith less. That don't make Christianity weak. It makes it real. So I was on one tonight. I'm sorry. Coming to Florida, seeing people not being able to pay for their houses, folk trying to figure out how they're going to make it. These hurricanes keep killing this state. And for me, man, it just, I'm, and I know some of y'all get mad. I say pissed off. Well, you've heard me say worse. So it's just frustrating to me that I'm part of a community that wants everything to be pretty. Life ain't pretty for millions of people. And y'all got to get in the dirt and accept that. That your faith don't make everything pretty for everybody. Even though our faith is the anchor, it don't make the water that it's in pretty. Okay? That's it. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Y'all go listen to that new bye.
Now, if you had to ask me, I would tell you that I think Kirk is going through right now an identity crisis. I think that, in my opinion, I could be wrong, that some of the stuff in the book, he feels like it may not be as it's depicted in the book. Some things could have been embellished, and I just think that in Christianity, but religion in general, I think it creates division on certain levels. It creates unity on certain levels, but I think it creates more division, than it does unity. Because if I don't believe what you believe, then I'm evil, I'm the devil, I'm this, I'm that. Instead of us sitting down together and being, going on a journey for the information, inside the Bible, outside the Bible. Because I think a lot of times we act like the Bible is the end all be all, where there were books before it, there were books after, there was history before the Bible as well. And you can kind of see, King James Version, how that all, came into fruition. It's good to know this, who King James is, what he did, where he went, how long he was there, all these different things. Who are these people? The Davids, the Luke, the Paul, the Johns, and just look at their names and say, okay, are these people our ancestors, or are they somebody else's ancestors? It's a deep dive that I think that a lot of people just don't take. We were given a book, right? They put it in front of our face. We were just told to believe it. Don't question it. If you question it, it's a spirit, right? And it's like it should be able to stand on its own, no matter how much research I do, no matter how much I go digging. It should be able to stand on its own. And unfortunately, if you really go deep, you will see that there's a lot of, I would say contradictions, a lot of misinformation, and I think all religious, text. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. I just think, again, there's so right when we were coming up, information was available, but it's not available like it is today. Like we didn't have no. I was in high school. We first started getting cell phones like that, right? The first cell phones that came out, you wasn't able to go on the internet like that. You couldn't even really text. But as we evolve, now we got computers in our hand and we can look up information. Of course, the information has to be vetted. You have to dig deep to make sure the sources are correct and information is correct. And you can find a lot of different, things, Dead Sea Scrolls, all these different texts that you can kind of go into, studying ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, Rome, all these different places that you can study, and it'll take you places where you be like, wow. It'll make you question some of the things you were told, and it's verifiable information, right? And I just wish that, more of us would take that deep dive as opposed to just believing what someone, because look, if I'm believing what you told me, fine, like I trust you, but what if you got the wrong information? What, what if the person that told you had the wrong information? What if the person that told them was misinformed? Right? So we got to find the truth. We got to go back to the source and find out what's really good. Like what really happened here with all these different texts, and why are we in a position that we're in today? How did we get the Bible? Under what, circumstance did we get the Bible? Was it something that dropped out of the sky and our ancestors handed us down? Or was it, sort of like that, but it's been through the hands of other people that rewrote it, changed the names around, changed things around, changed this, changed that, and now they got us following their culture? They got us worshiping their ancestors. Is it that? I think all this has to be, researched and verified. And to the even the whole thing about this whole healing doctrine. You never hear pastors speak up about the Benny Hinn's and all these people who claim to be able to heal people and get them. You bring somebody in a wheelchair, you can make them walk. Well, if that's the case, why ain't you just going to the hospitals and healing everybody? Why don't we have healing centers where you could come in if you can't walk, and this pastor's going to heal you with the power of God? See, it starts getting very, very dicey when you really start digging deep, right? But that's a whole other topic for another day. And I want to hear, the so-called real Bible thumping pastors call this stuff out. I grew up every morning watching this stuff on TV, watching the Benny Hinn's, the Creflos, and all these different, especially the healing people, the healers, right? You bringing people in and they can't see, and you touch them with some holy oil and now they can see. What? So you're defying science? Huh? Why can't you do it again? Why can't you do it all the time? Or is it that you brought an actor in and this is a skit? And so we could dig deep. And if that's the case, if you're bringing actors in and it's a skit and you're lying to people and you're deceiving people, you worse than the devil that you claiming is the devil. You are damn near the devil for that. You're deceiving and lying to the people, what you saying you shouldn't do. So see how it gets? We can go deeper. So let's just make sure, before you start trying to point fingers, and I had to go down this road, right, that we have the right information. But it's your brother, Old Guy Man, Hip Hop News Uncensored. Let me know what you think about what Kirk Franklin said and what I said. Peace.